Hello all and welcome to another Gamerscore update, and it's time to cover May 2023, all of the completions and all of the updates that I finished in that month. That's right, this series now concentrates on the completions, but we do also cover updates if they then continue to make that game a completion. So this month we did alright actually, we did alright indeed. I have got 7 completions to cover and 7 updates to cover as well. Didn't plan it like that, just happened to have to talk about 7 of each. So let's pop across the gaming tab and start doing that indeed. So we shall scroll down when it loads up into chronological order, and we'll scroll down to one which I actually meant to speak about last month but just forgot about, didn't put it up at the top of the screen and forgot to talk about it, and that is Mr Brocco and Co, a game by Chili Dog Interactive. I have actually done a full 1000 guide on this on my channel, so please do check that out, but we'll talk about it and we'll explain how to do it. So to be honest with you, you probably won't need to watch that guide as long as you listen carefully. So with this game is actually a super easy completion because all you need to do is on the title screen you need to input a code, and that code you need to input is up, up, down, down, up, up, right, left, left, right, then hit Y. You'll then need to pick your profile again, and that basically activates a little bit of a cheat thing that you can do. You'll see in the top left hand corner what you need to do. That basically enables you the ability to simply hit left bumper and it will skip the level, and then when you skip the level it will count as finishing the level. And as you'll see in all of these achievements in this game are for basically finishing the level. So you get an achievement for every level up, beat level 20 and beat the Coke, which is the final boss. So yep, keep hitting left bumper, get through the game, and you'll have it done in under 10 minutes. The only thing that you might need to do is sometimes you need to pick a character. So if for some reason you're hitting left bumper and you're wondering why it's all of a sudden stopped, you'll notice that you'll have a choice of 2 characters. Just hit A on any of them to progress through, and then you'll whiz through that completion in no time at all. It's not an expensive game to buy either. I think it's £4.19. I love the art style of this game, so it might be worth just playing this game a little bit and trying it out. But if you just want that 1000G, you can literally do it in less than 10 minutes. I will link the video that I've done on this game in the description below in case you do want to check it out and just see all the pops and the completion in action. Right above that is the first update that I did, and that was for Paradox Error. Now I've still got a few of these to do and they'll pop up next month, but we got some of them done this month, and that is all of the Eastasiasoft updates. I've updated about 20 of their games to 2000G, so you'll see a few of them in this update. Probably will struggle to remember the base 1000, but the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 achievements in this game that are in the update, super easy. Jump 125 times, 150 times, 175 times, so you can literally just stand on the spot and smash that one out. Some of these updates, by the way, all of the achievements, if you've met the requirements before, just unlock. Unfortunately this game isn't one of them, but a couple of the games I did do fall under that bracket. We'll get to those in a minute. So yeah, dying 25 times and 35 times is also now achievements as well. If you're playing this game from scratch, you'll probably find that you may get that anyway, or certainly be a very, very long way into doing it by the time you get the rest of the achievements in this game. But from what I can remember originally, the game isn't too tough to do. As you'll see, you got dying in anyway, 9 and 18 times, 6, jump 100, stay 5 seconds on the moon platform level 2, beat level 1, jump 50 times, 10 times. Yeah, so the base 1000G is not difficult at all. I think there's only like whatever amount of levels there are. Where we go, beat level 3. There's not many levels in the game, but you only have to beat level 3 levels to get the base 1000G done, and press new game button in level 1. That's something you need to be aware of as well, but not a difficult 2000G, and it was a super easy 1000G to get if you've already got the base 1000G. Nice easy 1000G added to it. Another update, Void Gore. Now I will look at these, but from what I understand, these basically all popped straight away for me, because this is one of those ones that remembered what I'd done and basically unlocked all of them for us. So yeah, we kill 1,000, 750 foes, 3,000 coins to collect, 48 upgrades and 64 upgrades as well. Just done it all before anyway, so they just basically all popped for us. And again, from what I can remember, it wasn't a difficult 1000G, but I'm going to struggle to remember actually doing it back in the day. 2,000 coins, 50,000 score, 32 upgrades, 500 foes, reach a score of 10,000. So all stuff that's not difficult to do from what I can remember. But again, another super easy 1000G update, especially if you've already met the requirements, because you just have to basically load up the game. Right, next up is Mecca Punk. This is a 1000G completion and 10 achievements for doing the 10 levels. And to be honest with you, you can just literally run through them. They're like one screen levels, pretty much most of them. Some of them aren't quite, but the last level, like there was a lot to do technically, but you could literally just run through it, dodge everything, just run and go out the exit, making this game a super easy and super quick completion. I think it took no longer than 15 minutes. It's unfortunately the platforming in it for what you need to do for me wasn't very polished, and it's not even a game I can recommend to play for fun. However, if you want a 1000G in 15 minutes or even 10 minutes, maybe even less, and literally just blast through the game, is a really, really easy 1000G completion. Just sadly can't recommend it as a game. Right, above that is BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle Special Edition, and I played this on Game Pass and had an absolute blast of this. And it surprised me a little bit because I played two of the BlazBlue games on the 360 and they never really resonated with me. I didn't really get on with them, and I love fighting games, but this one really, really hit home with me and was thoroughly enjoyable. So there is some online to do in this. This game, by the way, will take about 8 to 10 hours to do. There is this top one here for completing all other achievements. You will have to do some of the tactics mode, they call it, which is basically doing some of the combo challenges and other things, and the basic section as well needs to be done. I remember the combos were a little bit annoying. I went on True Achievements and read the comments section there as well as the solution, and one of the characters in the comments section turned out to be the one to use for me. He was basically this big massive robot thing, and yeah, a couple of the combos did take a while, but I was able to get them done. And a lot of the stuff is for doing, like the Residence finished 10 times, Distortion finished 10 times. Again, but the True Achievements community has been absolutely fantastic with this game. They've been absolutely brilliant with supplying solutions for nearly everything in this game. We'll scroll down to the beginning because I think I did some of the story mode stuff first in this. So yeah, cleared episode, BB, BlazBlue, Persona 4 Arena, Uni and Ruby. So there are 6 different story modes you have to complete. You have to do 3 different paths in this, and then you're able to do the cooperative ending. If you look at the solution on True Achievements for the cooperative ending, it supplies you with all of the paths you need to, the 3 paths you need to do for the BlazBlue, and then you need to finish the other 3, and then once you've done all 6 of those, you can then go into BlazBlue again, and it throws up a little bit of a different path for you and a cooperative thing, and then you're able to get all of the options you need for that one. So I did all of that. And then once you've done that, you can watch a CG from the episode. You can play the credits as well. You do need to, I think, do all of the endings to be able to just play the credits. Some training stuff to do, which is very simple. Win a match on normal difficulty in the versus mode is certainly super easy. There's some mission modes as well. They are absolutely brilliant on True Achievements. I think it was like Mission 21 or something. It's super easy to do, and literally absolutely just went straight over there, done it first time by mashing X and A. I think on that mission will pretty much just get you it done. Like I said, the True Achievement community in this has been absolutely brilliant. After you played it for a bit, winning 5 in survival mode is not going to be tough to do as well. And this is where we get to some of the online stuff that I was able to do. Again, I found a boosted partner to do this with. I know I boosted it with my friend Big Game Al originally, and then I helped Ross, my other friend of Bought get this done as well. Like some but very basic stuff that you can do, just using stamps and motions and that in the online lobby as well, looking up someone's details. But then winning in an online match, spending money in the shop, by the way, I managed to do that before I actually boosted. I actually paired up, managed to find somebody and get that done. But where's the rest of the online stuff as well? Air dash is super easy. Just jump and double tap forward or triple tap forward. It doesn't have to be done in one match. It can be done over a multiple number of matches. So yeah, there we go. Also done a room match and won a ranked match, and then reached silver rank, which is basically winning 10 matches in ranked. And the good thing about going into the ranked matches is, as long as you communicate with someone on a headphone, you just go into the same room, the same lobby, the same room, and you have to go onto a little platform and basically stand in front of someone who's waiting for a challenge. So you could just find each other and stand in front of each other, and then basically after I think it's 2 matches you get booted off the platform, you can just walk back on it again. So it's easy to find each other and pair up against each other, and then you can knock that out really, really easily. And just many other things that you can also sort of help each other with, like guarding a low attack. So that's basically guard while you're crouching and guard a jumping attack there. And all of this other stuff here is, again, the true achievement solutions are absolutely brilliant. The 10,000 combo, which I know some people had a bit of trouble with, I was actually managed to nail first time. But do you know what? It's a really fantastic game, and as I say, if you find a boosted partner for the online and go on True Achievements to look up a lot of solutions for the individual achievements, it's not too difficult to do. Certainly, if you're au fait with fighting games, you might find some of the things a bit tricky with if you're not so au fait with fighting games. But I'm fortunate enough. I play a lot of fighting games. I was able to get it done. But check out those solutions at trueachievements.com to help you. And there we go, 8 hours and 41 minutes, which I don't think is bad for a AAA game and a solid fighting game as well. But really enjoyed my time with BlazBlue and can highly recommend it if you like fighting games. Right above that is another completion. We've got Thunder Kid Hunt for the Robot Emperor. This is a vertical 3D platforming. I don't want to say it's run and gun, but it's certainly got elements of it. This one was a little bit tricky to do, but not too bad to do. I think it ended up taking me around about 40-ish minutes, 45 minutes or so. And you have to get up to the boss drone Duke there and beat him. Also collect 9 health tokens as well, 4 energy medallions. So I mean, there's not a lot to explore in these levels, but when we are going through them, just sort of make sure you go up to the high platforms and you'll find some of these health tokens and these energy medallions, and then you can get them along the way as you're doing the rest of the game here. So it's basically beating bosses. That one just happens to be called Boxer Baron, and killing enemies, 50 enemies, 10 enemies. So killing enemies isn't going to be hard to do. The bosses might take a couple of tries, but they're not too taxing to do. It was an alright game. It's not an awful game. It's certainly not Mecca Punk bad. But a couple of the bosses might cause a little bit of trickiness, and just as I say, just make sure you go high and explore the levels to find health tokens and medallions. Not difficult to do. Certainly, I think half an hour to an hour is a fair bracket for that game, but there are people that will smash it out in under half an hour, surely, without problems. But I had a few, and half hour to an hour, fair assessment for that one, I would say. Above that, we finally got Formula 1 2022 done. Yes, got my year right there. And I was working on this quite a lot, and then I had a massive break, and then I've gone back to it and smashed it out and was able to get it done. There is some online in this game. I think it was one of the first things I did with my good friend Ross of Bo. And there's a lot of easy stuff to do as well. Change a piece of your casual tyre, change your appearance in F1 Light Air. Spectated an online race, obviously that is online. So yes, when you spectate an online race, you do need to watch the race come to a finish. You can't just pop in, watch a bit and pop out, unfortunately. So try and join one that's near the end. So we was doing some boosting on this, I believe, with Ross, and along the way got on the podium and won a race. Participated in any featured weekly or esports event as well. That is online, so make sure you do that. Earned first or second place in a single race as players in 2-player career. Again, something you can easily boost. Complete your first race weekend in 2-player career. Again, something you can easily boost. Complete a league race. That's quite easy to set up as well. While in first place, lap the driver in second place in any game mode. So while we're going for the online stuff, we realised that this was an achievement, and then just made it super easy by having the other person park up while the other person whipped around and did a lap. Obviously, Austria here is your friend, by the way. It's the shortest track. I've done so much of Austria boosting, it's ridiculous how well I know that track now. So you need to finish 10, visit another player's F1 Life area. It doesn't have to be your boosting buddy, it can be absolutely anybody. That's not difficult to do, but you do have to finish 50 races as well, so that will take a bit of time. So obviously you want to do Austria and do as little amount of laps as possible, and you can knock that out. Saving a captured highlight in theatre mode was easy, and then change the paint finish on all layers of a livery. Not difficult to do. Obviously we did this, by the looks of it, over a few nights, because we had to do 100 races on online multiplayer as well. Laps in Austria take just over about a minute, and I think the lowest you can do is 3 laps. I think, if my memory serves me correct, as you'll see, it was a long time ago that we actually started this. Back in January, February, March, and I only just finished it this month. So as I say in the series, I'm talking about completions now when they happen. Right, 125% race in wet conditions. Have that on easy. That's not going to be too difficult. Neither is that reaching that sort of speed in a Formula 1 car ain't difficult. So you just got to do it in 10 tracks. This is the only online one that might cause some difficulty to some people, because you have to finish first in a ranked and unranked. So obviously, while I was boosting with my friend Ross, we was able to just get the unranked one done, but obviously we try to pair up in a ranked match, but even if you do, you're going to get paired up with other people and other races. I know he finished it legit in a field of 20 races, but that's because he's actually good at racing games. I suck at them, and I had multiple attempts, and eventually I ended up in a five car race in which one car sat on the line, one car sat on the line, didn't do anything, one instantly retired without doing anything, and then the other two just were more interested in playing bumper cars with each other, and I was able to get ahead of them and literally stay ahead. The amount of times I got in ranked matches and I finished third, and the front two just were gone because they were that good at it and I wasn't. But as I got lucky eventually, and I was able to be the person that was gone because these two were busy. I think they were mates and they were just pissing about and just basically bumping into each other. So I ended up winning by quite a distance. But yeah, that could cause a problem if you're not as good as racing games like me. I'm not that great at them. I play a lot of them on easy difficulty settings, but you might just need to get lucky, and I did. Hopefully the game will die down, certainly when 2023 comes out, and then you'll be able to boost it a lot easier with a mate or something like that. But I played this when it hit Game Pass, and not long after for a while as well. But as you see, eventually got it done. But anyway, completed a clean lap at all tracks in time trial. You can actually do it, pause, and you can actually jump between tracks in the pause menu. There is a way of doing it. But you want to complete a race at all of these in the hottest tracks. Filled all 6 bays in F1 Life with unlocked supercars. That's not difficult to do either. Again, do you know what? The rest of this game isn't too difficult. It's drifted for a total of 3 minutes in drift lap. Pirelli hot lap, drove 25 laps in a supercar. So go into the different things you can do with supercars, different challenges. You have to do one of each type of challenge, and one of them actually involves you basically finishing 2 laps, so you can rinse and repeat one of those until you get it done. I did an F2 Grand Prix with did a sprint and feature race at 25% higher for that achievement as well. Cheapest pole position after any qualifying session. So this is where we basically started to hit the last of the few achievements by doing these career modes, which then surpassed this achievement here. So won a race at Monza with a throw engine in my team, and there's also, as you'll see, I did that and then I stuck with it. You can create a 10 race season, and then you can manipulate it so that Monza is nearly one of your first tracks, or literally only the second track in. I think all of them you can manipulate them so that the track you need is first, then you can fill it with tracks afterwards if you just want to basically win a race, because you can stick the AI down to practically retards, and then you can just pick the engine that you need, and then basically you can select the tracks you want, and by selecting the tracks you want you can make Monza your first one. And then up here you'll see that I say with a lot of this, once you get into the My Team and you play through it properly once, a lot of this will then come naturally, winning the constructors, and then you upgrade. You just keep on top of all of this stuff, upgrading your team, and the other thing you want to do is keep playing until you reach the claim level of Team 20, and then as you'll see, look, I think one of the longest things to do was 15 upgrades in a single R&D department and 25 department events. You want to keep going. Achieve first in a speed trap in 5 practice sessions. Again, something you want to keep. I remember looking at the solution in True Achievements for this. That's very helpful with this. Want to race, because you can basically start one of these time trials, cross the start finish line, press start before anybody else has done it, and then when you quit out, because you're the only person to do it, it kind of registers that you did that. Basically, you was the fastest. But anyway, like I said, you can then manipulate France as the first track. Once you pick a Renault engine, you can manipulate Austria as your first track after you pick the Red Bull engine by doing these 10 race seasons, and then Mercedes engine, just pick a short track. go into the time trials again, make sure you take a photo at Silverstone, Spa, Monza and Monaco and just back out of it. And then these last 3 here, I had to use the TA solutions for it. Once I got this down, that was fine. Once I got into the right situation, again, it was just a case of using the flashbacks to your advantage, and every time you flash back and then just went back into the grid, it counted. Same for the perfect pit stops. And then with this one, this is super easy, but you just have to have the right settings done. I didn't have broadcast safety car mode basically selected in the options of the race before I started it, and was wondering why I couldn't get it to work. So after about 3 or 4 attempts of me not realising I had that selected and then having it selected, it was then super easy to do. It's not a difficult completion actually, Formula 1 2022. I've now done 18, 19, 20, 21 and 22 all in a row, and I have to say I thought 2020 would have taken some beating for being easy and quick for a Formula 1 game, but this was actually a new leader, if you ask me. Right, above that we've got Squad Killer. Again, another update, and all of the updates in this were for basically killing X amount of enemies, I do believe. The highest being 130, so 4, 3, 2, 1, and the first being 70. Unfortunately, it did seem to forget my progress in this one, so you have to start again. But you can literally just kill a few enemies, just restart. It doesn't have to be in one run, it's all cumulative. It is super easy to do. And again, from what I remember, it was quite a while ago, as you'll see, it's back in 2021 that I did the rest of these achievements, and they're all dying, collecting coins and upgrades by the looks of it, die once. And again, it's all cumulative stuff, so it's actually an easy 2000G, but the 1000G didn't take long at all. It probably took me about 10-15 minutes to amass those kills in no time at all. Right, so above that is Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, which became a Games with Gold, so that's made this a nice free and easy completion. It will still take around about half an hour, but there's a trick in this within a sort of a cheat menu and debug menu, which means you can then blast through all of finishing the races, and there's some other stuff to do as well. I watched a achievement guide for this video by the Welsh Hunter, and it was absolutely brilliant, and it helped me get the achievements done real quick out of this one by using that little cheat. And then all of his little hints and tips in that video helped me reach 1,000 miles an hour, 700 miles an hour, max out your pit crew, because once you've done all the races, it gives you loads of money, because in that video he teaches you how to or tells you that you want to set basically the winnings to be winner takes all rather than split across the first 3 places. In fact, what I would suggest for this particular completion, if you want to do it, is to watch his video. So I will link his video in the description below, so please do check that out if you want this completion. With that video guide and just a little bit of outside of the video, Eve playing as well, I did do, but I know the video covers all of it. It's not difficult completion, and it will take about half hour, 40 minutes with the guide and using the video, but certainly no longer than an hour. And the completion as a whole would take a hell of a lot longer if you didn't use the tricks and tips in that video. But also, I'll link the video in the description below, so please do check it out. Above that is a completion, Steel Defier. This was an interesting little game, but you're basically in a room, you have to dodge things and collect key cards, and every room you have to collect 15 key cards for everything for you to stop and then doors to open, and if you be able to move on to another room. And you pretty much have to navigate through most of the rooms, because there's a few power-ups you need to find, and they are in I say in random rooms, but I don't believe they are in random rooms if you know where you're going, but you pretty much have to cover all of the rooms. I would suggest going to the left hand side, because on the left hand side up there is the overcharged magnet, and that is the one upgrade that really helps you in this game. I found that the thruster upgrade and the boost and the being able to run faster didn't really help, because it almost made you go a little bit too fast to worry about dodging things, but the overcharged magnet brings the key cards towards you, and that one is certainly helpful. So basically keep clearing out as many rooms as possible on the left hand side of the map and on the right hand side of the map. It's not a particularly big map, the map's on the screen, it's not hard at all until you've collected all of the upgrades that are available, and also visit at least 15 different rooms as well. You'll need to do that, but you'll need to do that if you're going for all of the achievements anyway. I believe you do get an achievement for starting this game, by the way, escape from your prison cell. That's literally for starting the game. It's amazing that, wow, yeah, just under 10% actually haven't got this achievement despite starting the game. There we go. But yeah, that's super easy. The only other thing you have to do, once you complete the game, you escape from the ship you do have to go into the other mode, which then unlocks once you've done this here, escape from the ship. Collect at least 50 key cards in survival mode. I got exactly 50 on my first attempt, so I got a little bit lucky, but I was able to get it done on my first attempt, which also suggests once you've got used to the game and dodging things and you've got all your power-ups or you've got your magnet, basically, that's not too tough to do. It might take you a couple of goes, so I just got lucky with getting exactly 50, because I thought to myself, once I get to 50, I'll carry on to see how far I get. And I literally got 50 and died. I think every 10 it gets a little bit more progressively difficult. Maybe it's 5, I don't know. Or maybe it's 15, because there's 15 in each room. But yeah, the survival mode unlocks once you've done the main game. And it's a little bit frustrating. Some of the rooms, certainly some of the later rooms, proved a bit of difficulty and took, I don't know, perhaps 10, 15 attempts to get done. But yeah, once I got that magnet and then went back to those rooms, it actually helped me out, because I did start by going right, and you actually want to go left, because the room with the magnet is on the left, but it's quite high up, so you will have to do quite a few rooms. Not an awful game, actually, but I think this one falls into the, if I'm being fair, half hour to hour bracket, but can certainly be done in under half an hour if you're just much better at the game than I am. And I think we're up to finishing on all updates now. Dakota had an update, and all those updates were for collecting 24 of certain coloured diamonds: green, yellow, purple, red and violet. These updates, I think, from what I can remember, the base 1000G on this game wasn't difficult either. But the diamonds, basically, I think, what's that one there? Collect 250 diamonds in total. So I don't think it remembered your progress on this one. But basically, when you clear up a group of enemies, it releases a diamond. When that diamond comes out, it's originally green. And then for every time you shoot it, it changes colour. So that's how you get the other coloured diamonds. So obviously getting green ones is not going to be difficult because they are green, but you might find, like, unfortunately, violet, red and purple diamonds, as you'll see, there's not a great deal of difference between them, certainly between the purple and violet diamonds. So just remember which sort of number along the line diamonds you've done. So if you shoot it 3 times and you've got whatever achievement unlocks, just remember that you need to shoot it 4 times and 5 times for the other 2 colours. I do remember yellow is the first time you shoot it, it turns yellow. So after that, it's the 3 colours that are the same. But yep, just keep an eye on which colour you've done by how many times you shot the diamond to start with, and then you'll be able to get those done. Not a difficult update to do at all, but just took a little bit of time actually, because of having to change the colour of the diamonds. And there's one level where quite a few of them turn up, and I think it's like the 3rd level, so you might have to play a couple of levels in to get them diamonds really to start to turn up. Right above that, another update, Red Death. Again, the base 1000G on this I can't remember being too difficult, but again, it was a long time ago. That one was actually in 2020. Wow. So we had to collect 30 pickups, kill 300 enemies, 40 pickups, 400 enemies, and kill 6 bosses. So I was able to do the first level boss, obviously, nearly all 6 times. I think I actually got a 2nd level boss and did him once, but I ended up playing the first level around about 10 times, so I wasn't able to kill him every time successfully. But he's not too difficult, but sometimes you just don't get the rub of the green. So I was able to do the first level and kill that boss 5 times, and got to the 2nd level boss once as well and finished him off, which surprised me. But getting to that 1st level boss and killing him isn't too difficult. So while you're doing that, you're pretty much going to get 400 enemies and 40 pickups, 300 enemies and 30 pickups while you're doing it. So a nice easy up down and an easy 1000G base as well. So got that one done. Above that is Cave Bad. Unfortunately, did remember my progress in this. 4 achievements on this unlocked straight away for me, and that was 400 blocks, 120 enemies, 90 enemies and 175 coins, all unlocked for me straight away. But obviously when I played it last time round, I hadn't quite got 250 coins, so I had to play it for a little bit and keep, every time you kill an enemy a coin comes out, and again it's cumulative, it doesn't have to be one run, so it just obviously amasses for you. Again, before that, I think, the high score 12,000 is not going to be too bad once you get the right power-ups and things like that. And everything before it is pretty much going to be not too bad. Beat the boss at level 3 might be a tiny bit tricky, but once you get a powerful pickaxe and you buy extra lives, and make sure you power up before you open the egg in the boss room to take it on, that's not going to be too tough. But it was certainly a nice easy update, and the base 1000G on this, again, I can't remember being too difficult. As you'll see from the high percentage unlock rate, it's not that difficult at all, but a nice easy, again, 1000G updates. Right above that, we did this today, and this one was a pain in the proverbial. This, I'd love to say it was an easy update, but level 14 was a nightmare. So, yep, this base 1000G was obviously doing the first 10 levels. As you see, we did that in 2022 last year, and this year's update was basically just doing levels 11 to 15, which is actually competing the game. The level 15 boss is not difficult at all. It's this rabbit, and you just have to run underneath it and press a button. But where the buttons are, the rabbit can't actually get you. He jumps up and then bounces off the wall. So you press the button, wait for the bunny to come across. He jumps up, hits the wall, bounces off, and then you run across and underneath him, go to the button on the other side, and every time you hit the button it shoots a little projectile out of the top, and it can hit him while he's jumping. Just time that. He's actually really easy. But level 14, oh my god, that was tough, and that was horrible. The other 3 levels weren't too bad, but level 12 was a tiny bit annoying. I think I had to play that one quite a few times. But 13 weren't too bad, but 14 was horrible. But a little trick I learnt, because I went on TA to see if someone had done a level run through of 14 just to see the end of it, and nobody had. But one tip I did pick up, that apparently if you pause a level with projectiles on it, these little red dots that come across, and keep it paused for 5 seconds and unpause it, you go back into the level and all the projectiles have stopped firing, and the ones that are on screen have frozen, making levels 14 and 12, I think, a lot easier for you. And that was really helpful. That's something that they might patch out. So if you're watching this close to the time and you've got this game and you want to do the updates, you might want to get this one done sooner rather than later. But I can't call it an easy update, actually, because again of how much level 14 annoys me, and the fact that I probably spent a good hour or so with this update, because it's one of these one screen level games that if you die you have to start all over again, and it's not straightforward and easy as some other little one-screen platformers. It had very much an awesome P vibe about it for difficulty, but I'm one of these people that I'll just keep going and going and going when it's this sort of game, and I won't give up. And I was able to get them done and pick up a little trick along the way as well, which proved to be very helpful. But anyway, there was a lot to cover in this video, and it's gone on for longer than I thought, so thank you very much for watching or for listening. I hear a lot of people who apparently just put this on and listen to me waffle, so thank you if you're a listener or a watcher, or both. Thank you very much for watching. Any questions about any games, please do pop it in the comment section below. I will answer any question that you do have. But this just leaves me to say thank you very much for watching. If you haven't enjoyed this video, it has helped you, hit a thumbs up would be cool, because I like it when you do that. YouTube likes it when you do that, so thank you in advance if you do hit a little thumbs up for me. And please do consider subscribing if you're not subscribed to the channel already. I will love you for it. If you do subscribe, I do love all my current subscribers already. But anyway, thank you for listening to me waffle. Thank you for watching me waffle. Thank you for doing both. And finally, as always, please do take care.